Recorded live from Random Secret Studios throughout Philadelphia.
I'm the Capo. He's the Prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Well, Adam, welcome back to a very special episode of Blossom. A very special episode of Sons of Ben, the pod, where for the first time, it is just you and I. Devin has abandoned us for a vacation, so hopefully he's having a grand old time. I believe he is in San Francisco. So we actually gave him a couple days off, which is pretty righteous of us, I have to say,
Just, I figured after the exhaustion that was Club America, I think all of us could use a vacation.
Oh, my Lord, without a doubt. This past week, and we still have more, and we'll get into that. But first, housekeeping. Beer of the Pod, it's the way we fuel ourselves to get through these long weeks. It's Yards and 2SP. Just support those that support us. Let's just do some housekeeping and SOB, renew. Still more stuff to come. We still have kits available. So you want to renew and get your 2021 kit because we're going to start planning for 2022. So if you haven't renewed, renew now and then get ready for next year.
Now, what is our merch hours? Like before a game, what is the cutoff point when we stop selling merchandise to the people?
It depends on Mr. Light, and he wasn't able to make because his work schedule prevented him from being there. But normally merch is sold throughout the same time as a tailgate. So he was there at the Club America, and he was doing that Wednesday night. He was there probably at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And rocked it until, the 8:00 hour when we were marching in. So it's normal tailgate hours. And we are going to do one or two pop-ups at the lot later on in the year. So when we know Thanksgiving is Christmas time, when people want to buy stuff, we're going to try to do something in the lot. So more to come. I know he's mailing some stuff if you order online, but it's normally for the tailgates. The only hiccup is going to be on the 31st of October. We're going to be inside the concourse for Shield merch. So I don't know if he'll be in the parking lot, but he should be in the parking lot for all the rest of the tailgates coming up.
That was my second question.
Yeah.
Because I was like, are we going to do any inside the concourse stuff too?
We got one more scheduled for the 31st, and then we don't think we'll have the Shield after that. So
What do you mean? Aren't we? No? Oh,
no,
okay.
No. Now, save the date. This Saturday, correct my math, is the 25th of September. That's another busy game.
It's another one.
Yeah, we've got the fun run with Richard up at Northeast High School. If you haven't seen it, the link is in the NAC. If you don't get the NAC, email us, get in touch with us. I'll send you the link. But 5K for Richard Leibovich's wife, Cindy's family, to remember one of their family members that perished during 9/11. So we're going to have the fun run. Then, get this, and Devin doesn't know this yet. I haven't sprung it on him, but man, this tailgate's going to be big. We are going to be doing for Hispanic Heritage Month a joint tailgate with some of our friends from the Latino Union. So they are coming. They are bringing some of their food. They're bringing some of their brand of spice. And we think we're going to invite a few friends from Atlanta to come join us for a tailgate for a little bit. So we're going to have a lot of different cultures at this tailgate. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And like I said, I don't think I sprung that on Devin yet, so I don't think he understands what he's coming back to.
And shout out to the Atlanta fans. I know we had a little bit of some back and forth banter after the Champions League there. Some time wasting discussions, and we can all have those. And I'm here to agree with some of them. That was egregious on our part by the union. But ultimately, they're good people down there in the dirty in the ATL. And I'm excited to see them come up to Chester and have some fun with us.
Yeah. And you know what? They can cry about that all they want. They act like they never did that. That's a typical hating the player, not the game kind of a thing.
No.
So,
but I will admit, though, I gave what's his jackass face from New England all of my ire when he threw that ball into the stands, because there's shithousery and then there's just child's play.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into some of that because we had a bunch of games that we haven't potted for about a week and a half. So we definitely have a lot to go over. We talked about merch, but we still have Rally House merch is online and the 47 hats in person. And then I'll tell you what, here's another thing that's made my week busy. World Cup 2026, www, Philadelphia2026.com. We've been blasting it out. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I don't know if this pod will be out by then. There's going to be a happy hour at Love Park.
Yes.
And that is just to get excited. And we've invited just about every supporters group in Philadelphia, from the Philadelphia Spurs to Chelsea to Man City to Roma. And they're all coming out. So we're going to get some beverages at Love Park. And then on Wednesday, the good friends of FIFA are taking a little bus tour. They're it's unreported, but they're coming out of your neighborhood, Adam, down to Independence Mall, and then down to the Link. And after their site visit at the Link, they're on an airplane and they're going away. So we've got about 250 fans signed up to be outside the Link to greet the bus and show that kind of support. So, yeah, that's happening. And then they will make the announcement. They said early part of Q1 in 2022. So 2022 is looking to be one hell of a year or one hell of a disappointment. So we're gonna see how that goes.
I had pause for a second because I was on the Twitterverse, and I was like, I heard Jonathan Tannenwald speak his mind and say, now that Robert Kraft and the rest of them have gotten buddy, Philadelphia's bid looks less likely. And it hurts. It hurts to see those words out there. I'm not sure if he was being facetious or he actually felt it, but
I mean,
it's concerning.
If Philadelphia doesn't get this bid, it basically means everything that FIFA puts out there, they don't mean, because you need to have world-class hotels within a certain minute drive of a facility that's approved. Well, we've got that. You know who doesn't have that? Boston.
Foxborough specifically is what you're saying.
So the Four Seasons isn't in Foxborough. The Four Seasons and the Ritz-Carlton of Boston are in Boston. That's where their hotels are. To get to Foxborough, it's like 40-some plus minutes if you're in a helicopter. So I can't see that. Same thing with D.C. You can't get to FedEx Field within 15, 20 minutes of being downtown. And Baltimore, I love the city. They got a great downtown stadium, but they do not have that level of hotels. I think the Renaissance and the hotel that the Sagamore or whatever that the guy from Under Armour owns, they might be the only two nice hotels, and they're not at the Four Seasons, Logan, Rittenhouse, and Ritz-Carlton that we have in Philadelphia. So we click all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So we should, but we're going to see. I mean, the only thing I think that might be a detriment is in 2026, Philly is blowing up. We've got everything going on. We've got the Major League All-Star Game. We've got, the 250th anniversary of our independence. Maybe FIFA feels that overshadows the World Cup, which I don't think it does. So we're hopeful.
Why would you not want to optimize that? Because you're already going to have a lot of movement, tourism, all that stuff in there. Why would you not optimize that moment?
Yeah, and we host everything and we do it so well. So I can't see us not. But, it's FIFA. You don't know. But so hopefully you hear this before, but get out there Tuesday night. Adam and I will be there. A bunch of other people. It'll be a good time just to celebrate the city and celebrate soccer. And I guess there's one more. Man, we keep getting more and more of these events. Adam, October the 6th. They keep doing this to us on a Wednesday night. We keep having these big things on a Wednesday night. Carly Lloyd, your girl, is coming to town. It's her retirement party. And she's playing the Gotham FC is going to be playing Washington.
I mean, this is let's call this what this is. This is a probe by the NWSL into the viability of the market of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it's a good one. It's a very, very cloak and dagger kind of way to do this, because here's the thing. Carly Lloyd comes from this area, and it's obvious to exploit it, but it's also very obvious that the NWSL is an expansion. They just added a team in Los Angeles. They're adding a team in San Diego. They are a league that's on the rise, and they're now even bringing some of their players back from Europe. So I believe that this is a probing, if you will, into the viability. And that's why I believe, Carly Lloyd is obviously worth the price of admission. To see a soccer legend of that caliber up close and personal is worth it. But on top of it, this is an opportunity for all of the individuals that I know are more numerous than people could even understand that crave women's soccer back in Philadelphia. This is our opportunity to, almost Sons of Ben style, tell the NWSL it is time for you to do what is right and put a team in Philadelphia. And I'm 31 years old. I'm smart enough to know that it takes ownership and it takes people willing to spend money and to buy a team and all that. And we saw what shitty ownership in the NWSL has been, doing right now. Cough, Utah, cough, Washington, So you want to make sure that you have stable ownership and leadership, but this is a moment for a fan to make an influence. And I believe that's going to be very important for us.
Yeah. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head. This is a dry run. This is something I've talked to the union, and we're going to partner up with Cloud9, which is the supporters group for Gotham FC, formerly
we have
whatever.
Some overlap.
Yeah. So we're letting them kind of lead, and we're giving support since it's their team in our house. They're coming down, and so we're going to do the same thing as we do on a weeknight. We're going to open up the beverage trailer. We're going to have a couple drinks with the Cloud9 folks and us, and we're going to get ready to get loud and see what Philadelphia brings to a women's game. And I know it's a Wednesday night, but that's not an excuse anymore. We've had plenty of great Wednesday night games. We've had Mr. Durant come down. We've had, Club America, where that house was packed, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So come down on this Wednesday night. Tickets are, I think they already went on sale, or they're going on sale soon. I think it's tomorrow they go on sale. So we're gonna see. But yeah, that's another event that we have going on that I'm just like pulling my hair out because it's been back to back to back to back. But we're in the final push of the season. So get out there for October 6th. And I was going to say something about the Discord, but I got nothing to say about the Discord, man. I haven't gotten on it, got no idea. That's a Devin thing, and he's on vacation. So I got no news on the Discord, but we do have...
Discord gets a weekend off, or a week off.
Definitely. Now, we got some union news. Where do we start? Let's just go boom, 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 and then we can talk about them all at once. Union fall to New England. What a bunch of crap. Like, the offense was just nowhere to be seen. Club America, same thing. We had shots on goal, but no power behind them. And then finally, in the one game that I'm not at, Casper goes off on O-Town. I mean, he faced the Backstreet Boys in sync with his brace, and of course Kai, the machine Wagner scores. So, in summary, did we turn the tide at him? I mean, let's go through what we remember on all of them. New England was a shithousery game. You almost got thrown out of the stadium.
Yeah, I didn't almost get thrown out of the stadium. I almost got thrown out of the stadium. But look, man. All right, let's just call this what this is. All right, I'm not against shithousery. All right, authentically, I'm not. It's a part of the game. It's in every single sport. For me to say that I don't, that it's not like I enjoy it, but because it's so already established in the game itself, you can't deny it. I'm like, whatever, it happens. The dude threw the ball into the fucking stands. Like, I'm like, look, any other sport, I think you get ejected. Like, I think the NFL does like a penalty for that now. Like, that's like you can't, like, look, you want to kick the ball into oblivion? I get that. But in the era or COVID, you're going to throw a soccer ball into the stands just so we can't get it. It's just like, it's just a level of childishness. And it's like, look, I know I'm in the minority here. So many other, like, the man's going to get a statue in Foxborough because of this one act. And like, I'm here for that. I'm glad their fans are enjoying it. Something to rally behind, whatever. I still think it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I do. Call me old, call me a stickler. That was stupid. And gently laying down in the goal, which he got fined for. MLS came around and actually hit him in the pocket for that one because they were just like, come on, bro. Yeah, it's just you're the best team in MLS, right? Like you have this like unreasonable point lead right now that's like rivaling like LAFC's a couple of years ago. Like you're going to win the Supporter Shield almost outright weeks before anyone else is even done playing soccer. Why do you have to do that? Like what was the were you that afraid of the Union tying you? Like not taking all the points, just tying you in a game where everyone's playing their reserves because MLS is stupid enough to play during an international window.
And trust me, I was at that game and I didn't think we had any chance of, getting that. So it's just like, come on. Yeah, you said it. It was shithousery. I didn't think we were in that game from the beginning. I don't know what, and it feels so funny talking about it now because that in Club America, I'm like, what is going on? And then Sunday happens, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we're back to being okay. So I can't figure out this team. I'm just hoping, like we said, that we have the mirrored season of Philly, New England from last year, where New England's going to win the Supporter Shield, and we're going to knock them out of the playoffs and get hot at the right time is what I'm hoping for. So I'm just hoping that we get, this ship righted because the defense looks good. The midfield looks good. The guys are starting to gel. We just haven't put the goal, the ball on the back of the goal. So that's kind of my biggest worry about that. We saw that at Club America too, where we just couldn't score, including – thank God we converted a penalty kick on Sunday because if we missed another one of those, I was ready to become a Tottenham fan. God. Holy crap.
I like that. Like I have I did not go into the match against Club America with much expectation. And then to have that be gifted to me, knowing that all you needed was 2 goals just to get the penalties. And penalties are a mother bleeper. All right. And I do believe in Andre Blake a lot. But then there's a reason why Ochoa has been the keeper for the Mexican national team for pretty much 90% of my life. Because the dude's really good at it.
Yeah.
And look, Montero didn't even have that bad of a strike. It just, dude's like, I'm good and I've done my homework.
That is, as much as everyone gives shit about, he telegraphed it, it wasn't that that penalty probably beats 85% of the MLS goalies. It just doesn't beat him. It just does not beat that guy. And it's funny because somebody asked me how the Club America game was. And my quote was, that experience was great until I got into the stadium. Then it sucked. It sucked from the game to at halftime we decided, let's go to the bathroom and get a beverage. Adam, that's at minute 45. You want to guess when I got back into the stands after trying to get a beer?
I mean, probably forever.
Minute 80. I got back into my seats at minute 80. I went to the bathroom, and me, TC, and my cousin went to get beers. And one line ran out of beers, and then we're waiting in another one, and that's how long it took to get through there. Listen, and I've got all the sympathy in the world for anybody that's in the service industry. I got sympathy for people that are managing people in the service industry because you can't get the right amount of people. But the union were ready security-wise. The Chester Police, the Philadelphia Police, the Mounted Police. We had horses. We had everything.
Oh, they knew.
We were good. But they were not ready for in that stadium. They weren't ready for the Club America fans pretending not to speak English and bringing smoke bombs and drums and everything else. They weren't ready for that. They weren't ready to watch, to monitor the bathrooms because for some reason, I guess if you're a Club America fan, you don't have to wait in line. You just kind of like bum rush the bathroom line and go through. And they're lucky there was no incidents in the stadium with all of that. But that's the way it was. They were walking around like, hey, this is our house. And we're like, no, it's not. Like I said, no incidents that I saw in the stadium. I was not thrilled with towards the end when they decided to light smoke since we know we weren't allowed to bring in smoke from CONCACAF. And then these guys are pulling smoke out of their rear end like Houdini. So
no, that's a failure on security's part there.
Yeah.
There's just no other way to put that.
I mean, those people did get tossed.
And here's the thing. I talked to a lot of CSC, and they were like, we have no idea how they have that. You know, the people I knew, like the people who stand in the river end and all that, the people who don't necessarily deal with the turnstiles and all that, they have no idea how that shit got in there.
And here's the thing. I love the security that we have in the river end. They are absolutely the best. Yeah. But the funny thing is, we don't need the best in our section.
No.
We don't need them.
Sometimes.
Yeah, against New England with you. That's it.
Yeah.
But we need the best.
We just have Jason for that. Jason takes care of me enough.
We need the best in those other areas where we knew there was 800 Club America fans in that one section. And I will say, we're going to talk to the front office because as a leader of a supporters group, I personally am tired of, because the union are such good people and we're good people, that, you know, because we own the stadium and we don't have that many rules, that, you know what, you want to bring your drums, you want to bring this, you want to bring that, that's great. Come on down. But then, you know, we go to Yankee Stadium and we can't bring squat. We go to DC, we can't bring squat. You know what I couldn't have when I went to Azteca to watch the first leg of this game, Adam?
Yeah.
I couldn't have a belt. I couldn't have a belt. But we let them bring a fucking mariachi band to this damn thing, you know. So we've got to get a little bit like, you know what? If your stadium doesn't let us bring this in, you ain't bringing it in until you can correct your stadium, plain and simple. So that's kind of the stance.
We've talked about that. Like, we've talked about that before, because it's not something that's unheard of with us. You know, it seems to me, based off of interactions with other fans, that we have one of the more laxer situations when it comes to like smoke, flares, or just, you know, paraphernalia, banners, all of that stuff. Because when we go to other stadiums, like when we go to Yankee Stadium, we can't do a thing.
No. When
we go to Red Bull, we get a banner. They sometimes let us have banners and they're good enough about that, but that's it. It's really kind of hard to do things in DC just based on where they put us and how that's configured and all that. But still,
RFK, they let us do anything, but now they're brand new.
I mean, that's fucking RFK.
I know.
They're just like, what are you going to do? Break this thing more?
They built a soccer specific stadium and they didn't take, and keep in mind, here's the other thing, where we keep the away groups, which is next to us, which is kind of a little on the asinine side because the sound blends and muffles. They've got better acoustics than we do at the river end. And this is year 11 or 12 of this thing, and people still don't understand that we can make all the noise we want, but a lot of it blows up into the river. But then they've got a section that's got acoustics behind them, and it blows into the field. You know, we give the away supporters just listen. We might be the gold standard for away supporters, the way, you know, we treat them, which I guess is great. But my thought is, you know what, we should start adopting what you let us do in your stadium, and then your fans can bitch at your stadium about treating us better, because we have no say when we go to other stadiums. I can't go to DC and be like, hey man, we want to bring in drum. They're like, tough crap. But you know what? Yeah. Screaming Eagles could. They could be like, you know what, guys, if you don't start treating these guys, then we're losing stuff when we go to Philly, and then we have a conversation. So that's kind of where we're getting to, and that's an off-season plan. That was something that we were going to, you know, implement, and then COVID hit. So we're gonna go back to the drawing board on that sucker. But so
also, can we talk about the planting of Club America fans in the river end during the game, and just giving them like Union jerseys to like hide their presence?
So that, I don't think that was us in security. That was them being sneaky.
Was it? Because that was extremely egregious, and CSC was even telling me, like, this person who is standing next to you in a Union jersey is not a fan of your team. I just want you to know this. Like, I want you to know this person standing directly next to you is a Club America fan. Yeah. And for the sheer fact that I was getting, having people try to fight me since literally minute 2 from the Club America game, I was like, this is a risk. And it's like, God forbid we were winning.
So
I think that would have been a really dangerous situation if we actually end up winning that game.
When I walked in, we saw, one guy with a jacket on. It was a nice night. You didn't need a jacket.
Absolutely.
Spotted the jersey. point out security, he had to go to standing room only. And they still tried to walk past security. They pulled the old, wow, I don't understand what you're saying, and kept going. We're like, no. So there were 2 or 3 that I saw people trying to sneak in with their Club America with a jacket or something on. I think Club America fans were buying a cheap Union jersey and wearing it because they knew that was the only seat. We had 150 River End tickets left after everything sold out, and we put it in a link that the team gave to us to get the word out to the Sons of Ben members. And we wrote on it, no Club America fans can be in the River End. But you know what? If you're a Club America fan and you never see your team, you're going to take that risk. You're going to be like, and that ticket was probably way less than the $500 that some people were paying. And that's the other thing. People like Union fans and Union Twitter really crawled up my rear end sideways because they're like, oh, Club America fans drive from Dallas. Go, dude, if you were an Eagles fan living in, say, Belgium, and you couldn't get back into the United States to see the Eagles, if they were playing in London, you bet your ass you would get there because you only maybe get to see your team once a year.
This is the largest fan base in the continent. Like, this is the biggest fan base of any sporting club in North America. All the countries, Caribbean, the whole 9. Club America has the biggest supporters. They're just in sheer volume of number of people. It's like Man U. It's like all of these other clubs that you're just like, well, why is there like 50,000 people in New York City wearing Man United jerseys on game day? Because mother bleepers live outside of Manchester. They move to other places and they just become fans of a club because either family, because they're just interested, because of heritage, whatever. Yeah. This was never going to be a situation where Union fans were going to outdo them. That was never the minute we drew Club America, I knew September 15th in Philadelphia or in Chester, Pennsylvania was going to be a road game. I knew it because what were you going to do? This fan base is not that strong. You know, I love us to death, but if you incorporated every single Union member, like every single person who really gives a shit about this team, wants to see them day in, day out, would want to pay tickets to see them, you would have maybe 2 of the entire capacities of Azteca.
Listen, the Union sold 800 tickets to Club America fans as an organized visiting support group, just like AO has got AO Philadelphia, AO Columbus, AO. Club America's got Club America Philly, Club America New Jersey, all this. 800 official tickets went out, which was still a big amount for an away team. Everything else, like if you want to complain, look at yourself in the mirror or look at whoever sits next to you. That's who sold those seats from their ticket base to that. The Union had 800 tickets that they were giving to Club America fans. The rest, and if I'm doing my math right, our stadium holds 18,900 or something like that. We should have had 18,000 fans, but we decided to be the capitalist society that we are, and people made some money on it. So you only have yourself to blame. You can't really blame the team. You can't blame the Sons of Ben. Blame the fact that you didn't want to go on a Wednesday night. You wanted to make some extra coin for that game, and that's what happened. But I mean, listen, it happened. I thought the River End was rocking for as long as it could, during that game. I thought you guys, the Capos, did a great job. Jay and Mike did a great job on the drums.
Kristen as well.
Kristen, yeah, that's right. Kristen as well. Like they all did such a great job. So I can't complain, except the result wasn't what we wanted. And God, if we converted a penalty kick in the 48th minute or whenever that was, it could have been a whole different game.
Scenes. That's the only thing that really bothers me about that is because I just know the energy and just what would have changed if we were only a goal down then. That what goes in and we get like a second life and people, because look, every Union fan and their mom knew walking in that stadium we were climbing a mountain. But if you actually see the peak of that mountain for a second, your energy perks up. Because we've seen this before. Any person who's a fan of soccer has seen insurmountable odds met in, the weirdest of situations. So you can believe for a moment, shout out to Ted Lasso, but still.
And the refs, the refs really did help them because, listen, Club America was quicker, faster, more skilled on the ball than we are, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. But we were bigger and stronger. But the problem was the refs wouldn't let us play MLS physical style,
No.
and we couldn't do it when we were in Azteca, because when I watch it, I go, man, we mount up on these guys, and they get a little intimidated when, a 6'5", 6'4" Kasper Shabilko is leaning in on you, or a Glesnes. Those guys got a little scared, but they had the refs to bail them out of it. And listen, when you've got a 110-year-old history and a pedigree of being the biggest club in North America, you get calls. Messi gets calls. Harry Kane doesn't get calls, but he doesn't deserve it. But when you're that big, that known, and that club is, you get calls. So we had an uphill battle both ways, but it is what it is, and hopefully now we can focus on this regular season. Now, I missed Sunday. I got down there to set up the tailgate, and then I had family obligations when they came to Riverfront, which was absolutely a gorgeous day. But yeah, you were there. How was the game against O-Town, man?
Just what the doctor ordered, I think in a lot of ways. The crowd wasn't as thick after, as America was. So we had, it was a little easier to be a capo, if I'm honest with you. But, the people were there. It was the faithful, and they were strong. Songs were sung. We tried a couple of new ones, which I think we might keep. I've basically been telling everyone, if you got an idea, send it my way. I definitely want to hear from people because, I want to be able to switch it up. It's been a minute.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's funny because, like I said, I was at, and this was my morning. So Devin was on vacation, so I had to help get the tailgate stuff going. So I'm at Jetro in South Philadelphia around between 8 and 8:30 to get the food. You know who else was at Jetro between 8 and 8:30? About 150,000 Eagle fans ready for a Sunday home opener after COVID.
I was going to say, that seemed like a really terrible idea.
Dude, that's kind of, you're kind of stuck. You know what's happening, but I'm like, well, let me get there a little early. And they were there early. And I mean, I'm telling you, I got
the home opener, my guy?
Yeah. So here's the funny. I did the shopping. I probably covered all of Jetro, which is a monster building. I probably got the shopping done in under 15, maybe 20 minutes. Everything, burgers, cheese. I'm covering the whole building. I got it done. I'm in the checkout line for, I shit you not, 25 to 30 minutes. And then I'm leaving the Jetro lot, trying to make a left on Patterson. That was another 20 minutes to get out, just to make that left to get out of there. That's how crazy it was getting down there. So I just want to know, why does the MLS do this to the Philadelphia Union by scheduling us games on a Sunday when the Eagles have a home opener, or any Eagles game? Because you're asking our fan base to choose between one or two. And you know what? They're going to choose the seats that are way more expensive that they've invested in, and they're going to go to the damn Eagles game. Why couldn't we have had that game on a Saturday? We probably would have sold out if we had that, because it would have been a party. It would have been like hey, Saturday Union, Sunday Birds. This is going to be great.
Because MLS, A, wanted to give the guys an extra day of break after having them play at 11 o'clock p.m. on a Wednesday. B,
they didn't know that when they scheduled this game.
Still don't. That helps. That's probably why they didn't reschedule it.
Yeah.
And then secondly, they saved us from having to pay attention to the fourth quarter of the Eagles game. And I appreciate them for that, because I didn't have to. And then I actually felt good about my Sunday, unlike a lot of other people did. So, I mean, look, 6-1, half dozen in the other. If I had to go through yesterday with both the Eagles and the Phillies losing in ways that were unsatisfactory, I would not have enjoyed that. But then I had the Union to be that palate cleanser, that lemon sorbet, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. So we definitely needed that. I'm looking forward. I've got optimism again against Atlanta, even though Atlanta's starting to play. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to renewing that rivalry. I think that's going to be the rivalry. I was going to say it could be New England, but I don't know how long Bruce is going to stick around. I mean, Bruce writes that ship, and he might go find another pet project. So we're going to see. I mean, New England's only as good as they have Bruce Arena pulling the strings of the puppets. So
no, that Tejon Buchanan character is actually pretty good.
Yeah, true. So I don't know.
But he's leaving.
Yeah. So we just got a little MLS news. I mean, all around the bend, and just things are The playoffs are heating up, and thank God we're back in the hunt. I kept thinking that we were in like sixth or seventh place this whole weekend, and I'm like,
We
oh
were not.
crap, we were not.
We were. We were not.
We're back in it, and that's the focus. The focus is the playoffs, and get this team right, get these new guys acclimated, get these young guys. Because I'll tell you what, man, like I'm watching Paxton play against Club America, and he didn't look like he was taken back by the moment. I think he thought he was playing some other kids from Medford, So I mean, I look at some of these young kids, and I'm going, man, let's get this mix in. Let's get some of those guys in because let's get ready for the rest of the season. And speaking of. B and Mark had some U.S. men's team experience during our little hiatus. And God, when does that start back up? Isn't that like in a week or two?
Very shortly. And because of the amount of players that we have in England and what their status is about COVID and all that, that's going to be very interesting because two of what you would say your top three goalies are keepers in England right now. So you have to deal with possibly Matt Turner, and then like, does Bill Hamid get a call up? Is this Sean Johnson's moment of time? What is that kind of discussion? Matt Freeze, who knows? Yeah. But so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, they're going to start up relatively soon, and it's been. I mean, look, Brendan Aronson is always going to be our boy, and we're always going to have the platitudes and all the things to say about him. But what I've just been enjoying personally is just the idea that this man, and I mean this, he's now a man, has put himself into a position to be a part of, not only a part of the 18, but probably a part of the 11 and a mainstay up top because he's this, imagine this Brendan Aronson in a Union uniform. We would be in such, what he's doing right now is borderline prolific. He's turned on another gear, and he always said the goals are going to come. He told us the goals are coming, and the goals are here. And this man is lighting up a town in Austria on fire right now, and it's beautiful to see. But it's like watching him become this a pillar of what the United States national team is going to be. Also him and McKenzie. And it's just, it bodes well for the academy. It bodes well for, the sell-on fees. And it bodes well for, the future of this, U.S. national team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you called him a man. He's 20. He'll be 21 on October the 22nd. I just looked at my calendar and make sure I had that right. That'll be, we might have to have some kind of Sons of Ben 21st birthday party for Brendan Aronson. We might have to do some kind of celebration, like go to Yards and make Rusty come out and hoist a beer or something like that just to celebrate this kid. Because, he's always going to be associated with this team. I think we're always going to follow and love him. I mean, the only thing that I could see would make people want to ignore him is if they do the most Red Bull thing ever and make him play in New Jersey, which should be against the law. So
no. He's not going backwards. No, there's no loaning him back to Jersey for any particular reason.
In 12 years, I think him and Christian come back to Philadelphia to win multiple cups, but that's the 10, 12 year plan.
I wouldn't hate that, but at the same time, I just respect the idea that, these guys would even kind of come back in a way and their careers will be storied by the time upon their returns. But it's just look, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for McKenzie. I'm happy for Jack DeVries, who's now playing over there in Venezia.
I want to go to Venice now. That stadium looks awesome. Yeah, you do. Venice is nice.
It is the most overrated city in Italy by a country mile.
Man,
the canals are not fun.
Listen, I've been there, and I'll tell you, Venice to me is sort of like Vegas. It's great for 2 or 3 days, and then you want to wash yourself.
Yeah, I'd rather go to Bologna. I'd rather go to Genoa. I'd rather go to Florence.
My Bologna has its first name. It's OSCAR. Oh, he said
Bologna, and here's the thing about Bologna, real talk, probably the best food in the world. Just gonna throw that out there. That particular region might have the best food in the world. But anyway,
yeah. Anyhow,
look,
we digress because Devin's not here to keep us online, so we definitely are all over the place.
We're also running out of things to talk about.
So no, we're good. We're wrapping this up in record time. I forgot to tell you the episode number, so I will make sure I do that at the very end because it's a good one.
Oh, I know this one. I actually read the notes this time.
So. Yeah, but we've got. I don't know if you noticed this because I had some family stuff, so I didn't get to watch it the way I wanted to. I got to glance on the phone, but Adam, we win the SOB Derby again. Even though people saying Devin's not part of it anymore because he's turned his back on Tottenham, you know that loss still hurt Devin to his soul. Where Chelsea whooped up on Tottenham. Just it's almost unfair watching your Chelsea Blues just play any other team. I start to feel there should be the mercy rule. We should have the mercy rule now watching these guys play.
No, there's a gap now. I think you can safely say this in the Premier League now. Like after last year, like West Ham was interesting, Leicestershire made things fun.
Leeds took the league by storm in the beginning of the year last year, you know.
Right now you have 4 elite teams. You got Liverpool, Chelsea, and the Manchesters. That's and then the rest of the Premier League you can have a fun conversation with. The thing about Tottenham is they're just not talented enough at this stage. You know, they didn't make enough moves to make themselves elite. They have some of the best talent in the world. They have probably the greatest South Korean soccer player of all time. You have Dele Alli. You have Dembele, who they actually played for once. You know, Hugo Lloris as a great goalkeeper. You have a lot of talent, but you're not, replacing the parts in the ways of your counterparts, like the other clubs in your own city. Like Chelsea has Timo Werner coming off the bench. They have a situation where they don't even know where to put Christian Pulisic at this moment. You know, they had to sell Kurt Zuma because they just had a log jam. They just signed Sal. I'm not even sure what they're going to do with him. Not even sure why he's here to be with you. And they're also looking at Kingsley Coleman right now from Bayern Munich because they're just that bored. And on top of that, they were like, shit, man, Mendy's out. Let's just put Kepa in against Tottenham. Oh, wait, he's going to have a clean sheet and actually not spill the ball for once? Craziness. So when other clubs are doing that, it must be frustrating as hell being a fan of a place like Tottenham where you're like, we have the nicest stadium probably in all the EPL. We have so much potential. We have all of these players in the primes of their career. Why cannot we help these guys get prepared? Because everyone's like, well, why does Chelsea have all these players? It's because they expect to play deep into 17 tournaments. And they're going to need every single one of these guys to rotate. Did you know Ross Barkley was still on the club?
I did know that, but I don't know why I knew that because he looks like a bouncer.
He played like 2 matches ago, and I was just like, motherfucker, where's Danny Drinkwater? Is he still here too? Like, wait a minute. Are they just going to tell me that all these guys are kept in the back? Like, N'Golo Kante is hurt, and we don't even notice, really.
I'm waiting for them to bring Roy Keane back. Oh, wait, that's a fake show. I'm sorry, my bad.
Look, man, I would love, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking, anyway. Now, legitimately, I'm here for the idea that Chelsea does, again, dominate Tottenham, but I'm also here for the idea that Arsenal's coming? Is this the resurgence? Are they now going to shoot up the table and challenge Tottenham for St. Tottenham's Day once again?
Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm trying to look up. Did Brentford win? Do we even know?
I did not know if Brentford won. I'm assuming no, because I just don't expect them to win many matches, but we're going to find out.
They played what? Wolverhampton? Seconds. Is that who they played? I think they lost to Wolverhampton.
No, they beat Wolves.
Oh, they beat Wolves. Okay,
they
so
beat
Devin didn't have
Wolves.
They didn't have a completely horrible. Devin didn't have a completely horrible weekend. So that's good. Good for you, Devin. Good for you.
No, just fans of Everton who are just like, what is that life?
Man. Well, that's friend of the Sons of Ben, Raj Bennett, lifelong Everton fan, was on Twitter and he was actually saying he felt bad for Tottenham fans. And I go, man, coming as an Everton fan, you're giving sympathy to Tottenham. That is just,
by the way,
that's terrible.
Can I talk about there's two things I want to do today that we haven't done in a long time. I want to do one ass out of the week because there's definitely one on social media today and I'm here for this one. But the second one, and I really want to stress this, is when Roger Bennett put out a tweet, it was last night or this morning, probably last night, about Ted Lasso just cleaning up at the Emmys. And one of the tweets was basically, and I'm paraphrasing here because I'm in front of me, but he was basically just saying, Ted Lasso has done so much to change the American lexicon upon soccer and sports as a whole, and we should all be thankful. And everyone was just like, dude, it's Ted Lasso. It's not that serious. And I was just like, wait a minute. You all took seriously the man whose entire career is hyperbole? Like in this moment, this was the moment. And it wasn't even just like randos. It was like Taylor Twelbid was even commenting on this. Like people were taking it seriously. I was just like, oh my God. This was the moment I was like, society missed the net as a collective on this one.
We've got you're Taylor Twelman, you prick. You got people that are the soccer purists, and they don't want to share the sport because it's their thing. They're the soccer guy at work, and they're weird and unique because they like soccer. So when anybody wants to like get this more mainstream, they automatically fight it. But let me tell you, soccer in this country has grown, and this is my opinion only, but FIFA has grown this game because kids play FIFA, love the game. Sean Brace from The Gambler, he only got into soccer because he was playing FIFA. He'll tell you. He played FIFA, people got addicted, and then he got into soccer. This is a 4-for-4 guy, the quote unquote hoagie mouse of sports radio. He got into it because of FIFA.
Most people, here's the thing, the low-key thing that no one will tell you about is that's how most people get into most sports now these days.
Yeah.
The Maddens, the 2Ks, because it makes you sit down and know way too much. You have to know statistics, you have to know other players, other teams. Like when you play sports video games, you get much more of a crash course in that sport than you would ever get by just watching it casually on a Saturday.
The NBC coverage of soccer has helped grow that more mainstream because they do such a good job. They've got programming that explains different teams, all that. Third, I give the Men in Blazers credit between the pod and the show just because they have a humorous outlook and they kind of explain it as like it's a soap opera that people are like, oh, okay. Like, listen, that's why my girlfriend watches Premier League because when I make her watch Men in Blazers and we'll share a laugh at something, then she's like, oh, that's Pep. That's what a Carter hoodie is and that kind of stuff, so you're humanizing it. And I am convinced Ted Lasso is making people interested in the Premier League that would not watch it before. I'm telling you right now, my sister and brother-in-law are starting to watch the show. They've come out to one or two Union games. I've been a Sons of Ben member and a season ticket holder since get-go. Can't get my own family out to some of these games. I guarantee you when they're done season 2 of Ted Lasso, they'll be like, oh, I want to come out and see that. Oh, what's that Corey Burke song? That sounds like that other song. It does help. I mean, I know Raj was being tongue in cheek about it, but there's truth to that. There's truth that Ted Lasso is bringing soccer fans into the world because they're watching the show and they're like, oh, that's a cute show. Let me see this. And shout out to the music, man. You know who's doing the music for Ted Lasso?
Who's that?
Marcus Mumford.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Danny Higginbotham, if you're listening, make sure you get us those Marcus Mumford and Son tickets, buddy. You know, I don't want to hear we will wait outside. We're not.
All the connections.
Backstage. All the connections. Yeah. But so and what else did you have? You had one more thing you said. Oh, you wanted to do, and Devin, this is your time to shine. I think we need you to play that song, Adam Scott and Ass Hat of the Week.
You're the jerk of the week. You're a jerk and it's your week. You really outdid yourself like a crazy super jerk. You're probably a big jerk every week, but this week you're the jerk of the week. Oh yeah, you're the jerk of the week. I'm looking at you, buddy.
That Always a banger. So here's the asshat of the week, and I'm not even going to say his name because that gives him too much credit. But if anybody was on Twitter in the last 24 to 48 hours, they might have come across a gentleman from the Orlando City supporters that was having himself a little bit of a temper tantrum about their loss to the Philadelphia Union yesterday. And here's the thing. I understand the shtick in the game. He does this about all the teams that he yells about. But the particulars of his rants against Philadelphia was just a bit on brand. And I'm not even really mad at him. I'm not calling him an asshat in the sense where I'm upset that I believe he was rude, that I believe that he deserves ire or punishment. I just believe that he's a salty mother bleeper and sucks to suck. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the week being a loser. Now, enjoy the rest of your week, everybody, because we got matches coming up. We got tailgates on the horizon. Maddie, aren't you excited to actually come to a tailgate again after you dismissed the last one?
No, I can't. Listen, I was there. I was just there before anyone else got there.
Up. You were in the trenches. You were in the blazing sun when we were pouring the beers. Where were you at?
I was on the Camden Riverfront enjoying independent music. Yeah, so it was good times. But yeah.
What is independent music? Hold on real quick. Before I just want to know, what is the difference between like independent music? Is this like, is there colonized music?
Yeah, no, it's more poor people music. So the artists are all poor. Like they all drove in a van together, that kind of stuff. It's not, mega stars. But I will say, I mean, I've been going to the XPN Festival ever since they started putting it at Wiggins Park, mostly because the boat's there and we get tickets. But
yeah,
you always discover 2 or 3 bands that you're like, damn. And the first or second year we ever went playing at the Marina Stage, which is a stone's throw from where the boat is, was the Lumières. And that's right before they blew up. So there's bands like that. So it's very independent, little hippie, little folksy, but it's just a good time on the Camden Riverfront. And I hope they're going to keep it in September because the weather was perfect. We all had a good time. It's one of our favorite, weekends every year to look forward to. And usually it's just, TC and my dad and myself, but Meg came down from tailgate. She skipped the tailgate to go see it. We saw some other Sons of Ben. We saw some of our friends from Subaru. So if next year that we don't have a Union game, I'm inviting you all to come down to the boat and hang out at XPN, and you too can discover independent music.
Yeah, I'm a pass, but I respect the hustle. Now, and I'm happy it's September again because that means we have 17 sports all converging at the same time. So there's no rest for the weary at all.
Bring your battery charger for your phone because you're going to be wearing your phone out, checking scores all over the place. We're going to be on the Bryce Harper MVP watch. We're going to be on the Casper Sergio goal watch. We're going to be on Pax watch. We're going to be on not Carson Wentz. Yeah, I'm on Carson Wentz watch because I need that guy to start all his damn games. Yeah, we've got a ton, and you've got Ben Simmons and the Flyers coming up soon. This is the golden era of sports in Philadelphia right now, at least the season. This is the season, the reason for the season, man. And speaking of, did you know what episode this was?
This is episode 78.
Hollis Thomas, the man who lost against the English language at his time at WIP.
I mean, look, man. I feel like if anything, it's not so much that he lost against the English language, it's that he just invented new aspects of it. And I believe language is something that can always evolve. If you talk to any, linguistic scholar, they'd say something similar. The invention of ebonics, I believe, is one of the true examples of this. It became something that was mainstreamed by one particular demographic. And, now who dat is now part of the English language.
Yeah, listen, we're friend of the pod is one Rob Cherry from WIP, and he was saddled with Hollis Thomas for years. And I would always text poor Rob and be like, "My God, English 2, Hollis 0." Rob didn't find it funny. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, so this is episode number Hollis Thomas in the books. Our first Devin Free episode. Maybe we get him back next week.
Or maybe he's fired.
We could start like radio wars. Maybe Kevin Kincaid will put this on Crossing Bar out as there's drama at the SOB, the pod. Devin Garcia out.
Yeah, It's like we realized maybe we don't actually need him for this anymore.
No, we're not
no,
going to edit
crazy.
this shit.
No. In fact, keep all of this. This will be fun.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Everyone, thanks for tuning in to episode Hollis Thomas. Aloha, Felicia.
Bye now. Oh yeah, wash your hands again.
Yeah, and put the damn masks on.